Hi, this is Becca from Families and Babies, and this video is all about hormones and how our milk is made. So I want you to imagine that our boobs are a cafe. We have quite a few hormones in how our milk's made, but I'm going to talk about some of the three main players. If we imagine that our breasts are a cafe, one of the most important people in that cafe would be the chef. The chef is the hormone prolactin. Prolactin is in charge of cooking and making that milk for baby. It's stimulated when we have our baby in skin to skin and when they're suckling at the breast. That's why skin to skin is super important in those early weeks and months. The second hormone that we have is the waitress and in charge of delivering that milk to baby. And this hormone is oxytocin. We have a surge of oxytocin when we look at, smell or touch our baby. Even hearing our baby cry can cause a surge of this hormone and release that milk. And this is called the letdown reflex. Some, but not all women, can feel their letdown reflex. And women report that this feels a little bit tingly. When baby feeds, we'll release this hormone. And it's the hormone of love. And it can make us feel quite sleepy. That's why if we're going to feed baby laid down in bed, we always want to follow the co-sleeping guidelines. Now, the third person we have in this cafe is Phil. And Phil isn't a hormone, they're a protein. Phil's real name is the feedback inhibitor of lactation, and they are in charge of scraping those plates. The more engorged we are, and the more milk we have in our boobs, the more Phil we have present. And Phil is going to talk to Prolactin, that chef, and tell them what their portion control is like. So if we have a lot of Phil present in our breasts, that milk supply will come down. If we don't have very much Phil present in our breasts, so our boobs feel really soft, then our milk supply will go up. Phil's really, really important in regulating our supply. In those early weeks and months, if we do get engorgement, it's really important just to take enough milk off to be comfortable. We want to leave enough Phil in our breasts so our milk supply can come down to where baby needs it to be. We don't want to be engorged forever. And eventually, we're going to want soft, normal boobs. Now, all these hormones peak on a night between the hours of around 12 and 6 a.m. Our babies are born not knowing how to do very much, but they have some instincts. And one of those instincts is to feed lots on a night. They're taking full advantage of that peak in hormones. This is going to be great for your milk supply, so it's really important to allow those night feeds and feed baby responsively, day and night. In those early days, we can suffer from engorgement. We do have an and expression video to really help you with this. We can also see baby goes through growth spurts. These are periods of rapid growth, and we see quite a lot of them in the first few months. We also might find that we leak milk. Again, once our supply has regulated, we should see this calms down. We shouldn't leak as much, we should suffer from less to no engorgement, and our boobs should feel softer. We will never run out of milk. Our babies are very efficient at getting milk from us, and pumping is no indication of milk supply. Our boobs aren't warehouses, they're factories, and it's a 24-hour production, there to meet the needs of your baby. That's everything on hormones, and we'll see you in the next video. In summary for hormones, prolactin is the chef and in charge of making milk. It's stimulated by having baby in skin to skin and baby suckling at the breast. Oxytocin is the waitress. She delivers milk to baby. Some women can feel this and it can feel a little bit tingly, and it's called the letdown reflex. We have a surge of oxytocin when we look, touch, smell, or hear our baby. It's the hormone of love and can make us feel quite sleepy. Phil is the plate scraper. It's a protein, not a hormone. And we find that the more milk or engorgement we have, the more fill we have present. That means the more signals are sent to prolactin to calm that portion control down. And equally, the less fill we have present, so the less milk we have storing or sitting in our breasts, the more signals will be sent to prolactin to up that milk production. That's why our milk supply really is supply and demand. It takes time to regulate our supply and it's different for everybody. So it's really important to feed responsively. Our hormones peak on a night between around 12 and 6 a.m. So night feeds are very important.